so much for this great opportunity. So today I'm going to talk something about our state for the Asian vegetable crop production. Actually, Jonathan, he is my biological scientist. He did a few years field trials. He will talk his trials as well. Here I also listed Emma Turner. She was grown up in College Station. She is my student, but today she is not able to come, but she recorded some crops in Florida, how we are doing here. So if you're interested, you can go to the link, then you can see what we are doing for those crops, particularly for the summer vegetable crops. So after our talk, Jonathan will talk as well. This is my outlines, what I'm going to talk. Basically, I talk about our statewide production, how many types of Asian vegetable crops we are growing here, what's the advantage, what's the challenges, and our average as well. And after that, I will list a few handy tips, may be useful for you. And also, Jonathan will talk about his open field trials. Emma, we got videos. We'll put the links over there. Now, this is our state. The map of state, we have 67 counties, much smaller than your state. Your state have 254. And as you know, our state also a large agricultural state. We have more than 250 crops, growing state, including vegetable crops, economic crops, fruit crops, and the #1 crop of citrus, as you know. And in the northeast area here, we call the potato capital of Florida. We have 3 counties. Over there we call Tri-County Agricultural Area, including St. Johns County, Patton County, and Flagler County. These 3 counties, basically, we got 70% of 80% potato production from this area. That's why we call that area it's Florida's potato capital. But in recent years, the acreage of potato declining very, very fast. And we got a lot Asian vegetable crops growing there. As we have the potato capital here, we have many potato queens as well. Just Susan, she was a 1962, the queen, the potato queen. As I said, this is the #1 crop in Florida. Even this year, we still have more than 400,000 acres in the state. But as you can see, just trees, the bushes, they're not healthy. Some are dying because of HLB. And this is also one of the reasons we got more Asian vegetable crops. And just our top 10 vegetable crops growing in our state. The #1 based on the acreage is sweet corn, then tomatoes, green bean, then potato. Potato in 2012, we had more than 35,000 acres, but this year we got only 21,000 acres now. In the Tri-County area, we used to had almost 30,000 acres, but this year only 14,000 acres. And all these crops we are growing in this very sandy soil in Florida. Our soil basically very sandy by nature, 97% sands. The top 2 pictures from the North Florida, the bottom 2 pictures from the South Florida, they're all sandy soils. In Miami-Dade County, we even got very rocky soil as well. We called gravity non-soil. We grew Asian vegetable crops on the soils. Now, just ethnic or Asian vegetable crops, they are expanding very rapidly since 2013. So the map I did before, that's from 2013. Now the map should be this. We have a lot of more Asian vegetable crops growing in the state, including leafy crops, fruit crops, root crops, and flower crops. There are so many. I'll give you a little bit more information later. So in our state in 2017, before 2017, we had only less than 1,000 acres of just crops. But this year we got more than 7,000 acres right now. And just crops, you see, just leafy crop, just a non-bean crop, it's the bean, the pod is as long as even a little bit longer than my arm. And we have the agent, the extension agents, and myself, we go to the farm to talk to the farmers to help them to grow the crops. This is the acreage on different area in the state. This is, as I said, this is a tri-county area. In 2013, only we got 100 acres in this area, but now we got more than 5,000 acres in this tri-county area. Then in Miami-Dade County, to the bottom here, Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach County, and Manning County, all the three counties, more than 600 acres. The whole state, we got more than 7,000 acres. Except to the farms, we also have more than 1,000 master gardeners or homeowners that grew Asian vegetable crops in their master gardens or in their backyards. We also grew some Asian vegetables in high tunnels and greenhouses. This is my student she did for her research. And in some area, we also have the high tunnel for vegetable production in the state. And we use fertigation as well, try to increase nutrient use efficiency. And for the vegetable crops, in 2013, we got fewer than 20 Asian vegetable crops, but in this year, we got more than 40, almost 50 Asian vegetable crops. Not only for the Asian acreage, that's why now we call ethnic vegetable crops. Most of them from the Asian countries, but some also from the other countries, such as South America or Central America as well. This is the major Asian vegetable crops growing for the state. We are at least just all these names here. I don't want to go to details, but if you're interested, you can have a copy of this later. Now let me group them. So based on my calculation, we got just many crops here. We got 2 root crops. We got 10 leafy crops, 2 flower crops, and mostly we got more than 25 or 26, almost 30 food crops. Total here, well, that's listed 42. Some may not put on the list yet because they get more and more Asian vegetable crops almost every season. So this one on the picture right here, it's called sword bean because the bean looks like a sword. This is a it's called a nan paper. This paper very long. It's about 1 foot long. Very looks very nice. Now let me show you some examples for the different crops. Now just root Asian vegetable crops. This is we call watermelon radish. As you can see, if you cut it, the inside all the flesh is red flesh. So it looks like a watermelon so we call it watermelon radish. This is a jicama, this is a turmeric, this is the Daikon radish. If you're interested, you can use this QR code to use your cell phone to scan it. You can find a publication on one of these crops. We have leafy crops here. We have Lipo, Shanghai, Qin, and Tonghao here. similarly, you have the QR code here. You can go, you can scan, you get more information from the publication. And we have 2 flower crops here. Similarly here, also you can see more from just the QR code. You can find more information from the EDIS publication. And here we have almost 30 fruit agent with crops. Or here, as I mentioned before, this is the NAM paper. Now is 1 foot long. This is a Chinese bitter melon. This is India bitter melon. We have dark green bean, long bean. This long bean is, as I showed before, is also is known as 1 yard, or we call it yard long bean. Some even could be as long as 1.5 yard of just pots. This is light green bean. This is a hyacinth bean. This is the purple one. We also have green ones. Again, this is the sword bean. It looks like sword. Bitter melon. This is called a fuzzy melon. This is right here. This is angered loofah. This is smooth loofah. This is non-squash. This is bacata, kalapata. This is all the pumpkins. This is also called Japanese pumpkin or Japanese squash. Again, you can get more information from the QR code. Now, as I mentioned before, the most rapidly expanding area that's in the northeast of Florida. 2013, we got only 100 acres, now more than 5,000 acres. We got a grower here. He started from 100 acres. Now he operates more than 3,000 acres. He hired 100 people to help him seasonally. And this is the field leafy crop here. He has winter melon, long bean. He has a walk-in cooler. This cooler is about more than 400 square feet large. So all his produce completely in the cooler, then all the way shipped to New York and Atlanta, all those large cities. He got a 10-year contract for the different cities. So he is really doing very well. He makes a lot of money. Actually, also help the people in our state. Every day we got about 1,000 new immigrants. Just new immigrants, some of them are from Asian countries. They seek for the Asian vegetables for years. On that day, when I put some produce from our trail and in our building, a student coming to me, wow, this is the produce we are looking for many years, but we couldn't find it here. We find it. We are so happy. So we have so many people here. They're looking for this produce. They need this produce. So we need more growers to grow this new crops. Now, why this crop they are expanding so fast? Basically, we have just a few reasons here. They're very profitable. They have health benefits for people. Also, as Joe mentioned before, the Asian population is growing up. Got more and more Asian people into the country. So the marketing is also growing. And also we have very good, effective outreach. Then we got more people now these crops. This is a picture here got from our expo last year. When we had this expo every year. So we bring some Asian vegetable crop there. We show people because just even we got more than a few 2,000 or 3,000 people there. It's a one-day event. Then more people can know just new crops. Another reason I want to say is our citrus. As you can see from this picture, since 2005, that year we got more than 21,000 acres of citrus. But since 2005, Huang Longbin HLB is there, then all the acreage dropped down very rapidly, very quickly. Now, right now, we got only a little bit more than 400,000 acres this year. It dropped more than 35%. Okay, just a citrus grower, they're looking for new crops. They also use Asian wheat crop to as their new crop to make income. So back to Northeast Florida, let me compare just potato, because as I said, it's our potato capital there. Since 1890, we started growing potatoes in that area. So in 2012, we had 35,000 acres in the whole state. In the Tri-County area, we got more than 22,000 acres there. And in that year, the price was 18 cents a pound for cheapened potatoes at the farm gate. Then in 2017, we got the wholesale only 29,000 acres. The price dropped to 15 cents. And this year, and last year, only 21,000. The price dropped to 13.9 cents a pound. So actually, in this year, in the Tri-County area, only 14,000 acres. So less than half of the peak acreage before. Let's say 1990s, we got almost 30,000 acres. Now only 14,000 acres this year. So many of them went out of business. So some of them just switched to Asian vegetable crops. That's why that area now we got more than 5,000 acres. And then the other counties, many in Martin County, Miami-Dade County, and Palm Beach County. Each of them, they got more than 600 acres, altogether more than 2,000 acres. Now, as I mentioned before, these crops, they are very profitable. For example, this leafy crop called Tonghao, 1 acre, 1 season, it can produce 2,000 boxes. Each box weighs 20 pounds. The price is a farm gate, $20. So 2,000 times 20, 1 acre make $40,000 per acre. Compare with a potato only about 4,100 per acre. So almost 10 times difference. That's why more and more people, they switching to Asian vegetable crops. Also, these crops, they're very good for people's health. Now I got at least 2 pictures from here. I got it from the internet here. So for example, from bitter melon actually most of Americans, they don't like it because it tastes bitter, but it's really good for people's health. Also, turmeric, we got this vegetables, they make the supplemental for people. They're very good for people's health. They have the anti-cancer properties, and they also can lower people's sugar in their blood. There are many publications, because I'm not a physician, I don't know good details, but I listed a few publications here. They'll talk about diabetes, just for bitter melons, and also for knee pain. This is for the turmeric. It's good for people because they have knee problems. Just also very good for them. And the Tonghao, also called crown daisy, it has the highest antioxidant. We know antioxidant is very good for people's health. So this crop is very just others, they did the research compared 10 different crops. Tonghao or crown daisy has the most antioxidant content compared with all the other crops. So they're very, very healthy. Also, Daikon radish, canal cancer risk. So also we got a few, list a few publications here. If you're interested, you can go to the details, find more information there. Now, also George just mentioned their marketing is going up. Now, firstly, the Asian Americans, this group, they are growing very fast in this country. And as I mentioned before, some Asian Americans coming to the country, they're looking for this Asian vegetable producers for years. But if they find this crop, find the produce, they are very happy. And our growers in the Tri-County area, they got 10-year contract with the much large cities. So they are making very good money. And even the growers he operates more than 3,000 acres. Sometimes he still need to buy just produced yam from other farmers because he has such a huge market in New York and those large city with this large truck all the way deliver to New York, Atlanta, or other cities. So they also sell to produce locally in Miami, in Jacksonville, and all the Chinese grocery we have just producers as well. This information here, you can show the Asian population is up in 2016. In this country will be almost 36 million people in the country. But this crop is also very good for the environment as well, much better than the potato we are growing here. So right now we have the problems for the eutrophication because so much nutrient from the agriculture land. They apply so much fertilizer, then the fertilizer not able to be used by the crop. They are leaching out to the water bodies. Then we got eutrophication problems. Let me show you a whole picture here. This is our #1 river in our state called Xinjiang River. You can see some pictures, so many algae bloom almost everywhere. You see just 4 pictures here. Just because this is the #1 river in our state, and also it's in the agriculture area. Some leach out, so get into the water body. So much algae, they're growing well there. So compare with our traditional vegetable crop potato, Asian vegetable crops can be use nutrients much better. You can see from here, for the potato production, we use 200 pounds nitrogen peg, 100 pounds P2O5, 250 pounds K2O. And for the Asian vegetable crops, only 150 pounds nitrogen and the no P fertilizer used, and about 150 pounds K2O5. Usually our growers use 808 or 10010. You can see even so, you can see the life picture here. There's a potato still purple, a lot of purple leaves. Just the purple leaves, that means this crop, potato crop, is suffering from phosphorus deficiency. That's why the crop has so many purple leaves. But for this Asian vegetable crop, this non-beam here, we did not apply any phosphorus, but no purple leaves. The plants grew well. And as I said before, this this area called Tri-County, Xinjiang County, Partner County, and Flag County. We call our potato capital. We got our potato queen here, 1947, it's Peggy. So this area, very close to Xinjiang River, this is Xinjiang River. If we don't manage our nutrient well, the nutrient will get into the river, then we got the eutrophication problem. Why just Asian vegetable crops, we don't need to apply phosphorus because, as I mentioned before, since 1890, more than 130 years ago, we started growing potato crops in this area. And we apply P2O5, 100 pounds every year. You can see from these figures here, the maximum is almost 600 ppm, meaning 3P. On average, it's more than 1,500 pounds of P2O5 per acre. It's very rich in the soil. We have so much P there, but potato is not able to use it. That's why our potato growers, they apply phosphorus for the every season. You can see this is our IFAS recommendation. If the soil got more than 45 ppm P, then should be no P fertilizer applied. If this is from 25 to 45 ppm P, they can apply a little bit or nothing. And if it's more than 45 ppm, then they suppose they should not do any phosphorus. So, but our situation, the reality is whatever P level in the soil, our potato growers always apply 100 pounds P2O5. So that's why the potato, because the potato is not able to absorb just P fertilizer we applied, then some of the P applied leads to the weevil. Then we got a eutrophication problem there. And you can see here, we got many challenges for this crop as well. First of all, diseases, insects, weeds, irrigation, fertilization, and post-harvest handling. You can see here, I got a picture here. So this is the field of winter melon. You can see so many weeds there, so many. This is for the bitter melon field. After the season, we cleared all the weeds. You can see so many weeds here. Actually, in Florida, we grew Asian wheat crops 2 seasons a year, 2 crops every year. So first we plant in late February or early March. We harvest everything in late June or early July. Then we plant in late July and we harvest everything in late November. And so many weeds here. And we also have the post-harvest handling here. We just grew them. We don't have any technique to have this produce, store well. Then we got a problem. They got a rot. And our sandy soil, we have so many problems to manage the nutrients in the water. So we got many challenges when we grow the crops. So that's why we need to have our growers outreach. So we do field trials, field days. We visit farms in the field, and we have grower meetings as well. And additionally, we have the Florida State Horticultural Society annual meeting. In the meeting, we report our new findings on our research, on our extension. Then the extension agents, the growers, they can learn from the annual meeting as well. And we have each publication, just extension publication, including each publications and the newsletter articles. This is our field demonstration. Jonas will talk about the details later. And also field trials. And through the trials, we can show people through field days, tell the people how to grow the crop, how to fertilize, how to irrigate, how to manage nutrients and water. And this is Jonathan and Emma. They put the sand on the pole there to show people, show the growers how much fertilizer we put. This is a field day. You can see this is our angled Luford here. Many people, they interested, took some home to try. And this young lady, this baby Lisa, she is also interested in this crop. Now she in her hand, she had a old mature loofah. She tried the seeds. Even we called loofah, we called bitter melon. Actually, the seeds when it's ripe is sweet. She tried. She is very happy with just bitter melon here. And we also visit our growers, talk to them. They have problem. Actually, they come to me. They have, oh, we just cross. We don't know anything. They are odd. We don't know anything. How much fertilizer we should put? Then we go to the field to talk to them. Also tell them some principles. For example, just a new crop. We don't know how to apply fertilizer for this crop. Then I tell them you can check which family of the crop belong to. If the crop belongs to the cucumber family, then if we don't have the recommendation yet, you can use the recommendation for cucumbers. Then at least they have something to follow. And we also talk to the extension agents. The extension agents can go to the farmers to talk to them, to teach them, help them. And we also have the BMP field days. This is this field we did in July. This is our post-harvest specialist, Dr. Steve Sargent, and he's talking there. And then we have the nematologist, we have the weed scientist, we have the pathologist that talk to people to tell them how to manage insects, diseases, weeds. And this again, this is Steve. He was talking about post-harvesting, how to handle this produces, how to keep them better, to store them better. This is the crop we took from the BMP field day. And as I mentioned over here, and Jonathan is reporting his study there in the field. This is another student. He's Cecilia Bayana. She was talking there, talking about the loofah in the meeting. Then all the agents there, they can know information from there. And also have Zoom meetings with growers. This is in last year, November, we had a group meeting with growers. Last year in December, we also had group meetings with the different growers. We did some for the AGES conference as well. Now I wanted to show you some handy tips. If you are interested in the crops, you can go to our each publication website. There are many publications. There are more than 7,000 publications. Some of them are talking about Asian vegetable crops. We also, in my group, we did now so far, we got 7 videos to teach our growers how to grow the crops. And here are list a few publications here about just Asian vegetable crops. If you are interested, you can use your cell phone, scan this QR code. You can find the publications. Also, you can find the some of the video recordings as well. So, based on this, what's the take-home message? Why these crops, they are expanding so fast and further? Basically, because these foreign crops, ecologically, they can enhance the environment, sustainability, make the environment better. Even we can grow more crops. And also economically, they can improve our economy. Particularly, they can help our growers get income. Now we have so many challenges. Many citrus growers, they are suffering from HLB. Then they switch to just a new crop. They can make money. Socially, this crop, they can provide many job opportunities. Like I mentioned, there's a farm in northeast of Florida. He hired over 100 people to help him. And he provides so many opportunities for people. And also this crops to produce, they have so many benefits for people's health. Particularly those people who have diabetes, they can use bitter melon, even it's bitter, but it's helpful for those people to for their health. I also want to thank our USDA and FTEX. They funded our research, and also our plant science research and education unit. They help us finish our research as well. And our largest agent vegetable grower, Mr. John Sachs. They helped us with all this research on his farm, and when our research found it well, and he is really helpful. We got a very good cooperation. This is what I want to talk, and after this, Jonas will come up. He will talk about our open field demonstration and field trials. Now I wanted to let Jonathan to talk. Now I'll stop sharing here. If you have any questions, you can let me know, or you can email me as well. This is my email address here, my phone number also here. If you if I didn't make it clear enough, you can email me or call me. I can discuss with you. Thank you.
David?
Yes.
I have first of all, very informative presentation. Very impressive. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a comment and a question.
Yes.
My comment is, we have algae problems in the whole East Coast, especially in New Jersey, eutrophication from phosphorus runoff. But boy, that Florida situation looks worse, so I don't feel so bad. But one thing we did to ameliorate that problem was we had the DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection, put pressure on Home Depot for landscapers and some of our ag people. You can't sell phosphorus now for fertilizer within 25 miles in some areas, or 50, because it will leach into the streams and eventually to the ocean and affect the tourist trade. That was a great rule, because for years I kept going to Home Depot and they kept saying, oh, this is a national formulation. We got to do 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. No, now they do 10, 0, 10, or 10, 2, 10. So anyway, thanks, good. The comment I have about bitter melon question. I've seen a number of farms growing that from maybe 2 to 4 to 8, and we probably have 100 acres or more. And my Chinese students and my Chinese friends, Asian friends, the younger guys say they can't stand eating some of that stuff. It's too bitter. But there's another, you know, and there's another, and I have tasted it, and there's another that's less bitter. So am I looking at the industrial medicinal ones that they're growing, or are they eating it? They say, oh, that's for my grandfather. He's the only guy that eats it in the family. Could you give us a little more insight about bitter melon, what markets there are between the smooth skin and the rough skin?
Basically, smooth skin, less bitter, rough skin, even bitter. And the white ones, more bitterness than the green ones.
I see.
Yeah, there's some difference, very opposite difference, yes. Very obvious, very much difference, yes. So if you don't like the bitter melon so bit, you try to use smooth and green ones. They're much better.
Good to know. Well, that's the one I see mostly grown now. So it must be for human consumption rather than medicinal. You think the rough skin is more sent to the company to process?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.